I love it. I love
We'll keep it on for the first one.
it.
Well,
It's a wild choice for Conclave there,
I'm
Tony.
telling you. Oh, it is so cool. Here we are. We're talking about movies. You know what we're getting ready to talk about. Tony's got it on.
whew.
Oh, you look better with the mask on, man. Why don't you
Yeah,
take
I
it off?
know.
Anyway.
Whew.
All right, let's talk about. I got Janelle, I got Tony. Let's talk about Venom. Go ahead and give us the description, Tony.
All right, so it's a fun and funny buddy road trip comedy. We're in the third film here in the series, and now Eddie and Venom have to face off against their greatest enemy yet.
Oh, that was quick. So, Janelle, what did you think about the movie last night?
Ooh, there is a lot of unnecessary filler in this movie for something that could have been a lot better.
Mhm.
If you really want to just turn your brain off and not think about the movie making experience in any kind of way, you might enjoy it. But it's hard to really hate anything that Tom Hardy does. He's so good. But this just was it was a little ambitious, and it really just kind of fell short. It just had a lot of unnecessary things in this movie that actually seemed like it had a story at the beginning, and it just didn't get off the ground.
I have to agree with you, Janelle. I was like, what is going on here? There's a lot of dialogue and not enough Venom and Tom Hardy. What's going on here? That long ride in that VW bus and in the park, I was kind of like, what? What's going
Plus
on?
the dancing scene. I
Oh
mean,
my God, what's going on here? So I'm like, guys, we want to see more Venom and Tom Hardy. What the hell's going on here? I have to
right.
agree with you on that. Tony, what did you think?
All right, so we'll start with the good. All right, we talked about it already. Tom Hardy's great. The duality between Eddie Brock and Venom's on full display. It's gotten better each film, and I thought for sure he nailed it this time around. Supporting cast, Chiwetel Ejiofor. I don't know why he was in this, why he chose this. He gives some commanding scenes, but it's a performance that's wasted in the end. And there's a lot of comic book lore and moment and fan service moments scattered throughout. So going to the bad, man, it's a mess. Like we talked about, some very odd sequences. Not that you want to compare two movies, but there's some Joker 2-esque scenes littered throughout. Very odd, but normal Reese Ifans performance as well. But yeah, there's just a lot of head scratching moments and some really poor editing and ADR. If you're a fan of the franchise, you know what you're getting yourself into. You're going to enjoy it. This is not going to create any new fans, in my opinion.
And I'm not going to spoil it for anybody, but you're absolutely right. Chew It 2 and Chew It 4 was wasted. Definitely wasted in this. So I'm going to be the first one to say anywhere between 3 and 3.5 for Venom on me. Janelle?
Ooh, I would give it somewhere between a 2.5 and a 3. I don't. I think even the credit scenes that should have delivered something, could have delivered something, those even fell flat. Like it's just it. Mm.
Tony?
Yeah, I don't think they know where they're going with this. Like I said, some head scratching moments. There's a villain involved, and it's just there. This is a 3 out of 5 for me. Again, if you're a fan of the franchise, you're going to enjoy it. Do I think it's a step up from Let There Be Carnage? Yes. Does it touch the first Venom film, in my opinion? No way.
No.
3 out of 5.
I'm going to go with a 3 on it. All right. From the devil and badness to Tony, you're leaving us hanging. What's going on
Drum
here?
roll.
Conclave. Oh, I'm going to be the first one to talk about this because I was the one who ordered food. And 5 minutes into the movie, I stopped eating.
Oh
Because,
yeah.
yeah, because it grabbed me and brought me in. And I did not want to be distracted. And I just left my food hanging there. This movie, I agree, it's going to be an Oscar contender. It's got to be one of the first ones that are out there. Ralph Fiennes' performance is great. Stanley Tucci, I always love him. John Lithgow, we won't talk about that. We'll leave that alone. There was some very interesting, touchy subjects that they hit that I think the Catholic Church is not going to be happy about. Our Catholics, we actually talked about that at the end, as far as 50 and older Catholics will probably condemn it, but 50 and under go, oh yeah, oh yeah. Janelle?
Oh, I love this movie. I thought it was great. I actually, after talking to Tony last night and he kind of like asked me what my rating was, I actually did sit and think about it, Tony. So I will probably give you a different answer than which I thought it's rare to get a cast like this for something that is so well written and holds you throughout the movie. Even in the slow moments, I'm sure Tony's going to touch on this. The soundtrack is amazing. It keeps you there, focused. You are in this movie, you are waiting every moment. You feel like what's going to happen next. And it is good in the fact is there is a huge we're not going to give a spoiler, but there is a huge reveal at the end, but there are smaller reveals throughout the movie to keep you engaged, to keep you waiting. What's the next big thing? What's the next big thing? And it really does deliver. I think the cast couldn't have been better. I think we're lucky, as I said before, with actors as they get older, you get less and less a chance to get this kind of quality all together on film all at one time. So I think it was actually kind of, in the words, of this religious film, it was a blessing.
It was. Tony?
A blessing.
Oh, I've absolutely loved this film. I'm really fortunate enough to say that I've seen it twice now, and it's only gotten better the second time. Phenomenal cast. Ray Fiennes, 100% career best performance. I fully expect him to be nominated. It's a major awards contender across the board. Edward Berger, for those that aren't familiar with his work, did All Quiet on the Western Front a couple years ago. And I mean, he just continues to top himself. The score, as Janelle touched on, Vocal Verdeman, I mean, it's one of my favorite scores of the year for sure. Probably an awards contender at this point now. There's just so much to love about the film, and it's really a political thriller when it boils down to it. Yes, it's about Conclave, but it really, again, there's eerie ties to how our political climate is currently and what's going on behind the scenes of the doors of the Sistine Chapel as well. But 100% recommend. One of my favorites, and again, one of the very best films of the year.
I would say best films of the year. I'm surprised you didn't mention that Isabella Rossellini was just barely used and not used to her full potential. It's very interesting. So I'm gonna be the first one to give it a rating because the food I didn't eat, I ate the next day for lunch, but it was worth the wait. I'm gonna give it 5 out of 5. Janelle?
Yeah, I actually have to agree. Yesterday, I was a little bit on the fence of where I was going to go with it. And the more I thought about it, there really isn't anything to pick apart about this movie. So I'm going to have to give it 5 out of 5.
Tony?
Easy 5 out of 5 for me. I did not convince Janelle, I promise you. We had a conversation. I did not say, hey, you better rate it this. But no, again, I mean, I'll watch it 100% a third time here soon enough. Like, I really love this film. And there's things to pick up on each time. I even noticed something the second time around. And I asked the director, well, I haven't heard back yet if that's true or not, what I noticed, but a great film. I can't recommend this one enough. Yes, I'm Catholic. It did not offend me whatsoever. So I really hope that people go in with an open mind and enjoy the ride.
Definitely enjoy the ride. Hope you've enjoyed the ride with us. We'll see you next week. Thank you for joining us.